G'day, mates. Welcome to Tim and Gugabe podcast, the final one of 2019, probably. I'm Gugabe and this is Technical Tim. G'day, Tim.
Yeah, what's up, guys? We're just but I don't think you and I have talked since the Covington Usman card too, but
Yeah.
I think for this episode we're just going to kind of go through kind of just some awards for we're going to do. I'll just kind of read them off now so everyone's familiar with it, but I'll caption it down below in the description box. But we're going to do Fight of the Year, KO of the Year, Sub of the Year, Fighter of the Year, Most Underlooked Fighter Streak of the Year, and then we're going to have personal, just kind of from a betting angle, we'll do personal best bet of the year, personal worst bet of the year, and then the last one will just be like maybe a relatively unknown to known fighter who we're kind of looking out for in 2020. I guess if like anyone wants to comment below their thoughts too, just go ahead. I'm not like a super hot take type of guy, so I'm just going to kind of throw out just things that kind of came to my mind.
Yep. Whilst I am a very hot take sort of person, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, so we'll just fucking yell at each other. It'll be great. But what did you think of Usman Covington overall?
It was kind of awkward because Covington kind of got his closest thing to his win condition, and fuck, I still don't rate Usman that much as a like pure striker and as a, I guess like he's just a physical beast.
He's a specimen. He just has cardio and just output and athleticism.
Well, if Usman and Covington had the same body to work with, I think Covington wins that fight.
Yeah, but they don't.
I know. That's how. Yeah. So I bet on Usman pretty heavily, and like it was nice to get the KO because that gave him a bit more. But like, it's just it's hard for me to get enthusiastic about Usman because it's just 80% of his success is just him being a complete fucking animal.
Yeah. It's like he started beating D1 national champions in wrestling like 7 years in just because he's like an athletic freak. Like, yeah. He's just a specimen. But his gas tank's absurd, man. That was the one thing before that I just didn't understand. Everyone was kind of assuming that Colby like easily had the gas tank edge, and I was like, I mean, I guess I could potentially see him maybe out hustling him on the feet, but I would still think Usman's more likely, to have, especially if they mix in grappling. So
that's kind of why I felt bad for Covington, because I did feel like, despite the fact that Colby was getting more tired and more injured, Colby was hustling harder, or at least he was trying harder to hustle.
Yeah.
Like, there's a point in like mid-round 4, and I was like, holy fuck, is Usman about to lose this fight for no reason?
Yeah.
Because like Usman's volume went down a bit. I'm like, is Covington just going to like just somehow escape out the back door here?
It was, I do think, like...
And from a personal fan perspective, I would have actually preferred Covington escaping out the back door because I enjoy people sort of overcoming.
Yeah.
Usman just kind of sits there making faces.
Yeah, from a fan perspective, it would have been fun to see Colby winning because it would have just been like hilariously entertaining going forward. But I like from a betting perspective, I do think because I mean it was obviously a close fight, but I do think like Covington got the fight he was supposed to win that everyone thought he would win. He's still like, and the thing is, I know the rounds like round by round it was close, but it was like Covington kind of never clearly won a round, where like Usman clearly won round 3 and 5, and then the other rounds were all like marginal. So I still felt like Usman had like an advantage on the feet, if that makes sense,
Yeah. And also, like in a traditional volume kickboxing match, Colby Covington just ignored everything but the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's also a big thing for me. It was like, Usman's actually working the body here.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think that was a large part of the difference, because also I think like it also just seems like during round 2 and all that, Covington got like Usman did enough to put the fear of God into Covington. That was enough to sort of pull ahead for a round or 2 before Covington had that sort of last win, that second win.
Yeah.
Which was it was a fun fight. It was way more exciting than I thought it was ever. It was way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was honestly I thought it was really fun because even though they might not be the most technical strikers, like their cardio can kind of melt people, and so but we can get on to the first topic, and I'll just kind of lead, and I'll say like each topic as we go through, and then I'll just shoot it on over to you, and then I'll go. But we're gonna go with fight of the year, and what's Gugabe's fight of the year? Go ahead.
It was a pretty good. There was quite a few good contests. Yeah, and Gaslam Adesanya probably has to go because it was like the most intense down to the wire and all that. But even in sort of just the shit fight of the year sort of level things, there was Barbarina vs Luke was incredible. Garbrandt Munhoz was just hilarious for 2 minutes. Like I had a lot on the under and the KO and ends by KO1 and Munhoz KO, and I was losing my shit when that because I was like, this is just a 50-50 at this point.
Yeah.
This isn't even satisfying ones. I say, Cerrone versus Hernandez was satisfying as hell.
Yeah.
Yes, fuck Alex Hernandez.
Yeah.
Even like Cormier. Yeah, I just felt there was like generally, I think there's like 5 or 6 fights. It's all kind of on a par. And yeah, good fights. Like even like Miocic versus Cormier.
Yeah, it's like I think there were a lot of fights that you mentioned that I all think were kind of similar. They were just kind of like high octane striking fights, like kind of like Cormier, Miocic, Adesanya, Gastelum, like Covington, and some of the other ones you mentioned. I would probably say just on the drama, the fact that like Adesanya and Gastelum both nearly finished each other, where I don't think, I mean, honestly, like the fight could have maybe been stopped for either of them.
No, it should have been stopped at the end. I had a bunch of decided decision. That was ridiculous. I was lucky to get that.
Yeah. So I think that one is probably one that comes to the, like, probably the classical answer, but some of just like my personal favorites that I liked Colby and Usman a lot just because I think those guys are really fucking good just because volume wrestling and volume striking wins fights, in my opinion. That's just kind of like my philosophy. And I mean, they're 2 of the best in the sport. So it was cool, like just the anticipation going in, and then it ended up being super entertaining. We're like, Adesanya Gastelum, I don't think we went in thinking it would be fight of the year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like as anticipated, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I felt that Gastelum would have maybe 3 or 4 minutes of success, and generally Adesanya would just kind of kick him from the range for 25 minutes.
Yeah,
that was my prediction. Actually, also probably in terms of actual like sort of skill, and grappling fight of the year, probably Benavidez Ortiz.
Yeah, that was a really good one. The scrambles in that was crazy. And then another one I want to throw out. That one's probably in my top 5, to be honest. I forgot about that one.
From like a skill point of view, not necessarily just a pure like blood and guts point of view, I'd probably say Benavidez Ortiz would be one of my skilled sort of fight of the year contenders.
Yeah, a few others that I liked. I think people are going to disagree here, but I actually thought Askren and Maya was really entertaining just because when some of the scrambles they had on the floor was fun. And even though there was like very sloppy kickboxing, I thought it was just kind of an intriguing matchup, and it played out, pretty entertaining, I would say. I also think I liked Islam Makhachev, just some other grappling ones. I liked Makhachev and Arman Tsarukyan a lot as well. I don't know if you remember that. It was pretty much just like a super high-level wrestling match.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, just essentially a scramble first. My Askren, because it was such like a strange fight. It was entertaining.
Yeah,
there's always gonna be a bunch of those where it's just like turned into this weird shitfests.
Yeah, sure.
Even something like even Jacare Hermanson I felt was pretty entertaining. It was a mess, but it was entertaining. Yeah.
The 2 female fights also that I was just going to throw out there. I thought Rose and Andrade was pretty fun, and then I thought what was the other one? Esparza Alexa Grasso. I thought was kind of fun too. So those were kind of like the ones that all flipped out.
I just wish Andrade Rose went a little bit longer. I think it was it's a great fight.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like a solid 10 minutes, it was like a solid 5 minutes of Andrade taking control, sure, but like the fact that Andrade immediately finished when sort of pivot point hit.
Yeah.
And like it was a fair, like I'm not, it wasn't necessarily. I think she consistently wins that fight. But on the other hand, I do think the actual finish itself was not a particularly consistent finish. Like it was a
Yeah,
slam KO.
that's exactly how I saw it too. Like I think the finish was pretty fluky, but I think the pivot was happening. Um,
Yeah,
I guess we can never know for sure, but I mean, even if you look at the numbers in the round, like Rose beat the fuck out of her in round one, and then in round two, it was already going towards Andrade. You know, like the gap was clearly closing just on the numbers. And if you watched it, like it was pretty clear like Andrade started having more success, you know? And like even if she didn't slam her on her head, she would have been in top position in a round that she was probably winning at that point, you know? So um but
yeah.
yeah, because there's a lot of people on Rose on that, and I was on Andrade, and they all kind of were like pissed. But I definitely agree the fluke. It was a fluke finish, but I do still think a pivot was happening.
Yeah, that's pretty much my like. Yeah, in the second round, the volume had sort of come down to even. Andrade is always going to be the one pushing forward consistently. I feel like it's fair to say Andrade is a bit chinny and just sort of starts slow. It starts oddly slow.
Yeah,
Especially after because like, I hit a bit bunch of round one John, which I didn't necessarily think was the most meaningful result, but like I've generally tried to fade it. I've generally tried to play round one finish props against Andrade because I feel like she does tend to get hurt in that first round.
yeah, and
But
Rose
yeah,
was a
I did feel like she just kind of powered through at that point.
yeah. But yeah, I think we're kind of on the same page. I think Adesanya and Gastelum was probably number one, and then I think we threw out some
Yeah,
other ones that were entertaining as well.
yeah, there
Um,
was a bunch of great fights. Yeah,
there really were.
it was a great year for it was a great year for fights. Like there wasn't as a side of Gaston's probably I want to go into like top 10 of all time, but I feel like there was like say 10, 15 fights which were in the top like 100 of all time,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is good year.
Definitely. And now moving on to KO of the year, I haven't given this one as much thought. I mean, I know a few that jump out at me, but what's Gugabe's number one, and then maybe some others that come to mind.
Oh, fuck. I mean, I guess like in terms of like famous as well, you kind of have to lead African Masvidal.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, there was a bunch of quite spectacular ones. Andrade Namajunas was fun. What else was good? It just there was a ton. I was trying to think of one which was a bit more consistent. What was that spinning back fist in Mexico? Who
Um,
was it?
Peterson
Yeah,
over
Peterson. Bravo.
that one. Like honestly, as far as
Right.
like the violence of the impact was that. Like if you don't contextualize it, because I mean it was obviously not the first 5 seconds of the fight and everything. That one was like competes with Askren Masvidal. That was fucking
Yeah.
brutal.
Or even who was what's the name of the Russian dude we all piled into? Russian light heavyweight knocked out the ultra champion.
Oh,
Uh,
Ankalaev.
yeah, that's front kick was nuts.
Yeah, that was fucking insane.
Yeah. Like, I still don't understand how Ankalaev opened it like minus 130 if he opened that.
Yeah,
That's- Like, I'm not gonna say better of the year, but still, it was just like, what the fuck? It's
yeah,
just like I unloaded like I ended up arbing like half of my action because I was just like I can't, but I was tempted to just go pretty much 10 units on Goliath minus 140 when I first picked it up,
yeah.
which is
Uh,
just like fucking Delta sucks, truly awfully.
yeah, and Ankalaev's a monster too. like,
Yeah,
like Ankalaev is legitimately a top 5 to 7 light heavyweight with ease, in my opinion. He's just really good. He just doesn't have any
yeah.
holes, you know.
Yeah. I think athletically it might have a slight issue, but apart from that, like it just generally is really well put together. And light heavyweight, I'll take you. I'd take Ankalaev over Yarn.
Oh yeah, easily.
And I think he could have some issues at the absolute top echelon because of athleticism, but he's not unathletic.
He's pretty.
I just haven't seen like moments of just like pure raw plus athleticism from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in some of his regional fights, I think he showed it, but I think he's pretty athletic, especially for that weight
Yeah,
class. But
yeah,
back to some other KOs. Like honestly, the Masvidal Till one was also one that was really cool. Um, the way he kind of stutter stepped in, and I think he landed, was it like a left hook or I can't. Yeah. And then I think you have to throw in, just because when you scale it for women's MMA and how durable I is, the Shevchenko head kick was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Um,
Shevchenko head kick. My thing is just like I just don't like giving finish of the year awards and like fights which are just whoopings.
yeah, I
It's
hear
just
you. Yeah.
because just like most times, it just feels like it's like in the gym. If I'm against a white, I can line up the most ridiculous submission
Yeah.
if I feel like it. But like, yeah, I'd rather have one of the more competitive match. That was a nice head kick though.
I do think, though, that even though the matchup was maybe not super competitive, I do think the KO is still low occurrence, because I think
Oh, of course.
so that's why I kind of am okay with putting it high up there, because I do think, like, I understand the degree of difficulty in the actual head-to-head matchup, but I still think a degree of difficulty here was high, because I think Ai's a tough girl to finish, and
Yeah, definitely.
like Ai's one of the more durable women in the sport, in my opinion. Like, she's fucking tough, and she's just like fun to. She's just like, it's hard to completely dominate her, So, yeah, and then I think the Rakic one over Manoa was fucking legit too. That I just remember that being one I kind of cringed when I saw. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was just like, because it was so quick and like, I don't know, it was like 30. I think even actually that was last year, so I was confused. I was trying to think of Mitriani Fedor.
We just have to throw in Nico Price there for his one, just memeing the fuck out of Tim Means and James Vick, even though like the James Vick up kick is probably like a 15% occurrence.
Also, Aldo Moicano was pretty solid. I did enjoy that. I don't know. Every time Aldo wins these days, I'm happy.
Yeah, for sure. There are some brutal KOs this year. Like
Barbara and Luca, that was fucked.
Yeah, I still the like list that I was looking online just to refresh my memory. Like Bravo Peterson's way too low. Like I think that's top 3. I remember just watching that live and being like, holy shit, man. That was like a really, really crazy one. But
yeah, it was actually from a satisfaction point of view. Cormier being taken out by being unaware of body shots was beautiful.
Yeah, we talked
technology just wasn't there.
We talked about that last podcast. So it was just one of the.
How can you not talk about that?
It's the most hilarious.
UFC champion is just like, oh, a naked left body hook. I have no solutions.
When they rematch, we're going to just be ranting about this again. I feel like it's just a recurring theme. I still don't understand. Like, it was one of the stupidest moments I've ever seen.
It's like a Demian Maia or something. He just got Americaned, like, consistently. Like, the rest of his game was fine. He just got Americaned. If you're on top of Demian Maia's half guard, you got to Americana him. He just has no defense.
It's the most random thing ever. But then let's go over to yes. I think like sum up KO of the year. Like I understand the Masvidal Askren one just because it was so fast and everything, and you contextualize it. I personally just really liked the Peterson one over Bravo too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's one, but I think it's underrated. Then the submission of the year. This is. I'll throw this over to you, but we were talking about before this how.
Oh shit! You know what was this year? Paul Craig versus Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess any Paul Craig one you throw up, but I think
Paul Craig versus Kennedy was particularly good.
we were talking about before we started airing, and you can kind of talk about it a little bit. Is how I don't know, like submissions don't like crazy submissions. I feel like don't happen as much just because I do feel like MMA has evolved with submission defense, so it's kind of harder to do. And I also think whenever you judge this award, I think you should look at. I really think you need to look at who they're subbing, like the degree of difficulty, because I feel like everyone's going to say the Bryce Mitchell twister, but it's kind of like I feel like a lot of people could do a twister to Matt Sales, just because like if they have a massive grappling edge, I just feel like the degree of difficulty isn't as high just because there is such a huge discrepancy on the mat, or like subbing someone who's actually legit on the floor. I think even if it was just a rear naked choke, I would rate higher. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Like you can talk about yours here for sub of the year.
Actually, I'm just thinking, Dariush Festova was also pretty solid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously there was a grappling discrepancy there, but also Dariush can't do it there, otherwise he was fucked. Like, the way he sort of awkwardly fell off the back. Yeah, probably my favourite of the year probably would be the Peruvian necktie from Serkinov over Crute.
Yep, that's my number one for sure.
Like, it's a very unusual sub to begin with. He pulled it off in the spot, which probably won the fight from. Like, I feel like if he hadn't got the sub, he was probably fucked. And it just looks great. And probably coming in second, that's OSP versus Alex Ajic, the one flu choke. Just because it's amazing how OSP just went out of his way to force Alex Ajic to guillotine him. It's the fact that like OSP can make a one flu choke happen out of nowhere is just beautiful. Like, it's supposed to be a counter move. You're not just supposed to throw it off. You're not just supposed to make somebody guillotine you.
Yeah. The thing that's impressive, like number one for me is Serkinov Crute, and the reason why is just because, like, comparing it to the twister is just there is such a huge grappling edge between Mitchell and Sales. Where this one, I tend to think Serkinov was better probably than Crute as a submission grappler, but it wasn't a mismatch at all, and like there was some danger that already happened where like Mitchell was completely in the driver's seat, like he was on his way to a 10-8, where Serkinov Crute, they were both fucking each other up, So that's kind of the way I judge this, and that was a. I like Peruvian neckties too. CB Dalloway was a guy who really did them a lot, but they're pretty rare. Like they just don't happen that much, And it was in a very like heat of the moment situation.
Yeah, 100%. It was nice to see. It was just an interesting approach too. Just like I think Serkinov probably was the better grappler, but due to the athletic and durability edges, he had issues.
For sure.
What was the next category? Sorry.
Yeah. And then I just want to throw out Glover Teixeira just because he subbed a couple people. Like I think he subbed Kudalaba and Robertson, which are two pretty solid fighters, and Glover's like over 40 years old. So I just want to throw him out there since we're talking about subs because Glover had a ridiculous year. But the next one's fighter of the year, and this is where I'm deviating from a lot of other people, but you can go ahead and give me yours.
Trying to think, honestly. I think like Israel or Cejudo are the obvious picks. Depends from a sort of gambling point of view. Like gambling point of view, probably a guy like Casey Kenny or something, just like consistently brought value. Or if you want somebody who really brought value to the table, Kardashev Bragavov.
Oh, for sure.
Or Sergey Spivak. Like I filled up in both Sergey Spivak's fights. I'm happy with him.
Yeah, we'll talk about it from a betting angle, I guess. Kind of whenever we talk about our like personal best bets later. But so like I hear what you're saying about Kenny because he was an underdog both times and a huge one. But yeah, I think like the traditional picks that I've been seeing are kind of Masvidal, Cejudo, and Israel, and I think all of them are completely defensible. My criteria here is just a little different, and I'm going with Usman. And like I know people won't like that because one, he only had 2 fights, but I just think like whenever I look at Israel, he had like 2 of his wins were kind of Anderson and Gastelum. And, it's like like both of those guys had other multiple losses throughout. They had other losses throughout the year, and I like Colby Covington is a way harder task than those two, like by a mile, in my opinion. Like Covington had never lost a unanimous round in the UFC going into that fight, so I think that's kind of like insane that. And I think Usman was the same way. He had never won never lost a unanimous round too. So that's kind of why I like Usman. And even though I will be talking about this later when I'm probably talking about personal best bet of the year, even though I expected Usman to annihilate Woodley, like he 50-40 forward to win the title. And I look at fighters of the year, like, because I'm a minutes over moments type of guy, because I just feel like winning rounds is what makes someone the best, And when I see Masvidal, I kind of just saw like whenever I see like the Askren fight, I don't really know how that fight's gonna play out. Where like when I see like Usman kind of just left no question marks, and then even with like Israel Adesanya, he still got brutally hurt, versus Gastelum. And so I'm just kind of like looking at this from a round winning point of view, not really just like a results win or loss point of view, if that makes sense. So that's why I go Usman, and that's why I really and even like Cejudo, he kind of just flash KO'd somebody, So, and I just don't put much stock in quick finishes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like honestly, Cejudo's wins are all kind of odd. Like now we've seen Mirage versus Aldo. I think it's a bit more consistent result, but at the time, the way Mirage just fell off a cliff at 7 minutes was insane.
Yep.
Like we didn't really have footage that indicates that Mirage only had 6 minutes to do.
Yeah, but now we do. Like clearly, but we didn't have that before. But I was gonna. It's funny you say that. Like we'll be talking about this later because I'm sure. My personal best bet I'm going to be talking about later is Usman over Woodley for a few reasons, but I think Cejudo's kind of like not quite Woodley, but I think he's kind of fool's gold a little bit like Woodley was. Like, and I just feel like Cejudo's going to be a favorite over someone he shouldn't be a favorite over, like Peter Yan or even maybe someone like Sandhagen. And Woodley should have never been a favorite over Usman. It's just he has that championship bias, that champion's bias, and I think Cejudo's going to have that too, and he's going to have a very offline. But I think the Dillashaw win was just kind of a fluke, honestly. And I just don't put much stock into the first 30-second KOs, and I think the Moraes win was. I think he wins that generally for sure after kind of seeing Moraes, but I think it was more because we didn't know Moraes slows down, But
Well, see, because I think also it's going to be a thing where just like the market goes, all right, we're wrong about somebody twice, and they just kind of overvaluate them when just somebody can occasionally just hit a win condition, sort of low percentage win condition, a few times in a row without necessarily actually being that good. I feel like there's some people just seem to be a bit more too willing to attribute success to people actually being good.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's not a weird thing to say, but there is a lot of chaos in MMA.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've just become a champion or whatever because you've just had the run of your life. It's not necessarily because everyone was underrating you, it's not because everyone was overrating you, it's just because you just happened to catch lightning in the bottle for a bit.
Yeah. And I think we'll talk about it later, but I think Woodley kind of had that in many ways, and we'll be talking about that later. But kind of like for fighter of the year, I go with Usman just because he 50-40 forward, the welterweight champion as an underdog, even though I don't the underdog, obviously, but he also beat a guy who had never lost a unanimous round. Where I can't really like look at. Like Masvidal, like I expected him to kind of wash Nate Diaz, and then I felt like Cejudo's stuff we already went over, and then Israel, like I mean, he still was badly hurt by Kelvin Gastelum, and his Whitaker win was legit though, for sure. Like, and I'm not saying their years were bad. I'm just saying they were still good years, but I like Usman's because I feel like it's more repeatable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like, Castleman really had moments of success against Israel. But, essentially. Anyway, and losing around to Anderson Silva is kind of embarrassing in this day and age.
Yeah, I still thought he looked fine, like against Anderson. I think it was just more Anderson has like a lot of like different ways he can throw strikes. I just feel like Israel was a little tentative, but he's still like one clear. But then just some guys who I want to throw out there. I got to throw Glover some love. He went 3-0 this year. And then Damian Maia too. Like
he's somehow back in the like discussion. Title shot.
I mean, he subbed Lyman Good and Ben Askren, and they're both like legitimate welterweights. And he also beat Tony Martin. Like those are 3 fucking good wins. Those are all top 15 guys, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
And they're both 40, him and Glover. So I got to throw that out there. There's probably some people I'm missing. I don't know if you have anyone else.
People decent years. Casey Kenny, of course.
Yeah.
Also from betting point of view. Even Aldo, honestly, I obviously the Volkanovski fight. Like I thought I forgot the Volkanovski fight. Like he lost 2, but like Mirage fight probably should have won it. And it's nice to see that sort of guy coming back kind of from the brink.
Yeah, we should also throw Volkanovski in there too. Like Volkanovski had a really fucking good year.
Incredible! Yeah. He is outsmarted the sport of MMA. He's just figured out. He's just all put together 5 things which are very hard to deal with, and just iterates upon those 5 things.
Was the Mendez win in 2019 or 2018? I can't remember.
Last year, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. So he beat Aldo and Holloway this year?
Yeah.
I mean, the Mendez win was less than a year ago. That was December 29th. So, but I would definitely throw Volkanovski in the hat as well. Like I would put Volkanovski even even over Masvidal, honestly.
In terms of who he's actually beaten.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Masvidal has like maybe one real divisional relevant good win over Till.
And I'm not high on Till either.
Yeah.
Like I'm personally just not high on Till. A lot of people are, but I'm not. Like Masvidal still had a good year, and I'm happy because Masvidal's a very good fighter too. So he's actually one of my personal favorite fighters, just going back like 5-6 years ago. So I'm glad he's kind of making a ton of money now. So I'm happy for him. But let's go to most underlooked fighter streak of the year. We probably don't have to spend too much time on this. I kind of threw out Glover and Maia. Is there any other like you're kind of thinking of?
Give me a second. Try to think. I'll just have to pull my great list of lists.
Yeah.
Dalton Jung going to be the light heavyweight champion next year. We all agree.
Korean Zombie too. Like, I mean, I guess he's not underlooked.
I just don't get most. He's just kind of had moments. Sure. I'd like to see him win a few consistent minutes. Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah.
Munoz Rivera. The statement was last year, but like, I think everybody's kind of riding Aljamain Sterling off after the Mirage thing, and now he's kind of he looked great against Munoz, looked great against Rivera, and Rivera's bloody good. Yeah, but honestly, sure. He's probably looked better against Rivera than anybody else has. Like, Rivera probably should have beaten Jan.
I honestly rate.
I'm not saying Rivera should have won the decision, but like Rivera won like 9.5 minutes in that fight.
Like, this is gonna be controversial, but I rate Sterling's year over Cejudo. I don't know. I don't think Cejudo is like a bad fighter or anything. I just feel like he's got a little bit of a flukish run in him right now. That's all I'm thinking. And I feel like he has not gone through the elite talents at 135. I mean, like, obviously Dillashaw, but not from a round winning point of view. You know, he just kind of
Yeah.
knocked him dead early, and that's just not something that I put much stock into.
Benavidez.
Oh yeah, Benavidez.
He's finally getting another title shot. I give him a decent shot against Figueiredo. Like, he beat Ortiz and Formiga this year. They're both good. Yeah, both good wins. Perez was last November, and that was also pretty good. Like, I was thinking during that Sergio Pettis fight, we all kind of thought he was done. But he just comes back and is right back to being, Joe Benavidez.
Yeah. He beat Perez this year, right?
No, last year. End of last year, though.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Or even on in German news, like somebody even Matt Schnell or something like that. Like, I like Matt Schnell, but like he kind of came out of irrelevance, I guess.
Yeah. Definitely. Leon Edwards. We haven't mentioned. I don't know how because we both love Leon. We haven't mentioned him, but he had who all did he beat? He beat RDA and Gunner.
Yeah, Gunner. Yeah.
And
if you're not beating Gunner, you probably should be cut. So whatever.
Yeah.
There's just like one or two rabid Icelandic Gunner groupies.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think we kind of threw all that out there, but I think we kind of like mentioned most people. But personal best bet of the year, like mine, I'll just go now, and I think I hit some bigger underdogs in this, but the reason why Usman Woodley, and it's just because I've been all over, kind of like how I am on Cejudo a little bit right now, but with Woodley, I had been suspicious of his run for a really long time, and I just thought he was going against a lot of fighters who kind of stared at him and didn't do shit. And even in that run, I never bet against him, so it wasn't like I was losing money going after him. And then I was just kind of waiting, and I was honestly cheering for him to win against Till, because that was another fight I could have seen being a staring contest, so I didn't bet it, because Till literally threw like 9 strikes against Wonder Boys. So I thought it was going to be another one of those. So just saying, fuck this, I'm not going to bet it. But when he knocked out Till, I think he darsed him, I think. But when that happened, I knew Usman and Covington were waiting in the wings. And Usman was my biggest bet ever against Woodley. And I think even, it was kind of before I did a YouTube channel, but I think you and I were doing a podcast at the time. But you were on Usman too, but I think I told you privately I capped him -400 going into that fight, and so
and he probably got even better than that, to be honest. Probably looked close to -600.
Yeah, and like and we're going to be going to personal worst bets of the year next, so I get some wrong, but it was really like also the fight went to a script how I thought it would go. I thought Woodley would be hanging out by the cage, and Usman would just allow him to clinch, and he would land clinch strikes, get some takedowns, and out wrestle him too. But that's probably my best one. But we still get fights wrong, so I don't want to keep tooting my own horn. But how about you?
I'd probably say one of 3 things. Usman, similar reasons. Swanson over Gordon Gracie.
Yeah.
What the fuck, guys?
Yeah.
Gordon Gracie showed a lot more durability and all that than anybody could realistically expect of him. And he still got completely annihilated.
Yeah, for sure. That was a great bet.
Yeah. What else was there? And also the fate of Cardis Ibrahimov.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just do not understand. I understand bookmaking's hard, but come on, guys. You surely somebody did tape of Cardis.
Yeah, that Ed Herman line was strange, because Ed Herman isn't he's totally average for a light heavyweight in the UFC.
Yeah. And he beat Cardis more emphatically than Jung did.
Yeah.
Jung could have lost that. Jung almost lost that fight just because he was being an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Herman just annihilated Cardis.
He beat the shit out of him.
And Gracie Swanson was just like, people just what the fuck, guys? How is it that difficult to understand?
That was one of my classic, pre-fight, I was like, club's a value, but I was too big of a pussy to play it. But after I do think I hit Swanson live in that fight at least, because I felt like if Cub was going to get subbed, I thought it would happen quick. I thought it would happen like first round. I thought if he settled in that he'd be fine. But I think I got it. I did get him as a favorite though live, so that's not as good. But at least I mitigated that early sub risk. But yeah, you were right on that. I remember you were going nuts, like blowing up my phone. Like, what the fuck is this line?
Also, like, I used the under 2.5 or under whatever it was as a hedge, so I was kind of annoyed that Cub couldn't get the KO. I would have made a lot more if Cub got the stoppage. Again, it's not like you can realistically predict that Karen Gracie would just turn out to be Brian Ortega.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fact that like I had people legitimately telling me that Karen Gracie came to America to train wrestling defense and wrestling and kicking defense with the Gracies. I mean, with the Diaz's instead of the Gracies. And I was just like, this is not where you go for that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then moving on to personal worst bet of the year, and I'll go first. So I'm kind of like categorizing these type of bets just to throw it out there, but I also want to just like make a distinction. What I consider a bad bet is like if there was something obvious before the fight and you kind of just overlooked it, and just you should have said like what the fuck. So like I want to say like I'm gonna like make a distinction. I kind of think even though Moraes Cejudo in a 5-rounder, it looks like Cejudo wins that at a pretty high clip, I don't think I could have completely known that Moraes would slow down. So that's like one I'm not as mad about, even though I'm not saying I was right before the fight or bulletproof before the fight. I'm just saying I couldn't have really fully known he would gas. But so there wasn't anything I could have I feel like I completely overlooked, but it still probably wasn't the best bet, obviously, because maybe I was underrating Cejudo's just durability and cardio himself, but it wasn't like something I'm completely upset about. But but obviously now seeing kind of Moraes even against Aldo, he's kind of low volume and just kind of gases. So yeah. But something, it's like a category of fights that are just, I feel like are kind of dumb, or just some of my Contender Series bets, because I lost a few on that. And just like I remember like that Christian Lawson guy, essentially he's just this grappler who's a good grappler, but he gassed in about 4 minutes. And it was like with Moraes, I had seen him fight before and he never showed that. Where with like Lawson, I hadn't seen enough footage of him, so I wasn't as aware of the risks, where I feel like you could look at the way I was thinking about it before the fight and said, dude, what the fuck? Like, you don't know enough about this guy type of thing, And I just feel like a lot of Contender Series fights in general, I think have a lot of uncertainties. So I think sometimes you just need to stay away from them. But I do think there's some guys in the Contender Series who have plenty of footage in LFA and legit organizations, but Christian Lawson was a stupid fucking bet, I think, by me, because he didn't have footage in like against legitimate competition and legitimate organizations, or just enough footage in general. He was like a YouTube fighter, So I think it's something, going forward, it's something I'll be more aware of is potential question marks and uncertainties that maybe I didn't do in some of those Contender Series picks. I think that's kind of mine.
Just randomly pivoting back to the Contender Series. Yeah, I think that annoyed me the most in Contender Series. Probably remember that Herbert Burns?
Yeah.
The guy against him was like plus 800 and was kicking the shit out of him. And Herbert Burns hits that fucking guard sub.
Yeah.
That was just fucking yeah.
Yeah.
I hate like Herbert Burns was such an awful bet and just gets miraculously bailed out.
Yeah. No,
it was a nothing triangle. It was just like, the guy was destroying him, and like he just randomly gets triangled, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I think I only have I only had a unit or two on the guy against Spence. It was just like I was just devastated by just how stupid that loss was. And that's probably the worst feeling of betting is like when you've clearly had the insight, you've got massively on value, and then the favorite still manages to somehow eke out a miracle.
Yeah.
Or like something like even Hernandez versus Ronaldo, where it's just like now the market knows that Hernandez is kind of bad, but I've received no compensation for my research. So it's like I've now. I suppose like Woodley was also the same. Like if Woodley Tiller ended up being a complete do nothing shitfest, you probably would have like you could lose out on the edge of the market, I guess. Or even like Randomly versus Nunes.
Yeah.
I feel like that was at least partly the case.
I'm going to take a shot at you on this category
Yeah.
for the lifelong, listeners of our podcast. It's a bet you won, but I think you got a little lucky with GDR versus Aspinwall.
Yeah, 100%. In hindsight, agreed.
Yeah, I was like, dude, after watching her versus Nunez, like Lad can double leg like that, like
Yeah.
he's doing. Honestly, Lad would have probably finished her, wouldn't you think?
I agree. In hindsight, like after seeing that Nunes fight, agreed.
Yeah, it was funny because that's like going into that fight. You're a little scary to kind of talk to about Aspen Lad because you'll just tell me to shut the fuck up. But I remember like I didn't like the GDR bet going in, but I didn't really know. And then even after the fight, I'm like, oh yeah, like GDR fucked her up, of course. Yeah. But just kind of watching her versus Nunez, I feel like Lad would have maybe mauled her on the mat. So
I feel like that would have been a mess of a fight regardless. But yes.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like GDR just knocking her out in the exchange was like a 30% outcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100% Lad could have gotten the double leg and finished her at a high clip. Like at the end of the day, I'll usually rate grappling finishes the higher percentage thing, but I would like striking finish.
Yeah, for sure. I think GDR's takedown defense has looked better lately, though, to kind of defend you, like people who were all on GDR. Oh, I'm probably gonna get so much hate in the comments for saying that was like a terrible bet, but I mean, she can't fucking stop a double leg versus Nunez. But I think in her fights recently, it was clinch takedowns that she can kind of stop because she has that kickboxing base. So if who was it? Raquel, and I feel like someone else tried taking her down with clinch takedowns, but she can't stop a double leg. It's clear. Like once you go below the waist, she's fucked. And I feel like Lad would have probably mauled her, honestly. But
yeah, great. And even against like Nunez was weird because like after 7 minutes, I was like, "Fuck yes, everything's aligned. I've got the win. Like GDR's got a win condition right here."
Yeah.
And then GDR just muscles these awful double legs.
She almost like triangled her with not a triangle.
Yeah.
On Nunez, it was kind of strange, but
And also, I'm also surprised the ref didn't stand him up at 8 point during because there was 2 rounds there. It was literally 5 minutes of just being in close guard.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like Nunez was even throwing any meaningful. Like Nunez was just clinging to her and praying. Like that's probably the most lame pray performances we've seen in like the last 4 or 5 years. Like I don't feel like you see lame prey of that caliber that much these days.
Yeah, the refs are kind of more on you for advancing position.
Also, I suppose Ishihara versus Lou also said versus Penguin, same thing. Like, that was just pure lame prey.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, what? Wasn't it? Wasn't it Kang?
Kong versus Penguin. Sorry, King Kong versus Penguin.
Oh man, you're just mixing all them up. You're gonna get us kicked off.
I was thinking of Ishihara versus Kang. That's why.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That was a big time lane prey for sure.
Like he did nothing.
Yeah.
Oh well, happens. What was my worst bet of the year? Give me a second. I've gotten distracted.
Your worst bet of the year is anytime you bet against Aspen. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's probably true. I'll just check my list of max bets. Bang, 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 bang. Probably Poirier over Khabib. I
Yeah,
guess.
that looked like he was just kind of fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I thought there'd be something he could do. Like again, because a lot of time with Khabib, I feel like I just get fixated on the fact that there's such massive holes. Then it's just like, well, yeah, there's massive holes, but can people actually meaningfully take advantage of them?
Yeah, it's interesting because I've never bet against Khabib. I played him versus Connor. I've never like played him at like super juice odds either though. But I've always kind of thought, I mean, whenever you don't lose rounds, you gotta kind of respect that. But we'll talk about Tony and him later. That is a fight that I do think Tony's live, but I don't want to. I feel like you shouldn't go nuts on Ferguson either, because I feel like sometimes people just see like little moments of flaws and don't realize he's dominating the other 95% of the time,
Yeah.
But it's something I'm going to be thinking about as we go. I do think I think there's a couple people who can give Khabib issues, and I do think that is one. But I also think Khabib's completely capable of mauling him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
100%.
But last category, and then we can just kind of wrap this up. But I guess just kind of like a relatively unknown fighter to look out for in 2020. And I know there's a lot of hardcores who listen to this show, so everyone kind of probably knows just about everybody. But I mean, I guess just don't pick, guys who have fought for a belt or fought like big names, I guess. So I don't know if you want to go first.
Just looking through divisions. Cody Stamen.
Yeah, he's legit. He's in a tough division, though.
Yeah, I think he's going to have issues really making it to that next level just because he lacks sort of that. He lacks an A+ game.
Yeah,
like he's not an A+ athlete. He's not really an A+, but he just puts together a great game.
Yeah. Well-roundedness goes a long way.
And he's tenacious and he comes in looking to win fights.
For sure.
Shane Burgos.
Yeah.
I like how his game's put together now. He's a bit fragile, but like I feel like he's very difficult. He's just tricky to deal with because he's so high volume.
Yeah, he gets hit a little too much for my liking, but he definitely he's gonna be in a fucking fight,
Yeah.
Every time, and he's got really good takedown defense, so you have to deal with volume either way on the feet. And even though he's hittable, he's probably gonna hit you too. So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Looking for my rankings. Alexander Hernandez. We can't get worse than that. Okay, I'm still pissed off about that Ronaldo loss.
Yeah, you were not a fan of him.
Just his game just doesn't like. His attitude annoys me, and the way he cold cocked Dariush. Also just oh, come on, that was and just I know our boy Magic M, friend of the podcast. Why not? He's a very big fan of Hernandez.
I like him. He but I don't agree with him on Hernandez. But Hernandez isn't a bad fighter. It's just he's not a future champ at all.
Yeah.
And another one like Cerrone was a huge dog. Cerrone was fucking plus 200 against him, and it was like, I just feel like
even fucking what's his name? Trinaldo closed at like plus 200 against him.
Yeah.
It was just like Trinaldo. Yeah, he has occasional issues with pace, but like Trinaldo's a fucking good fighter.
Yeah.
And like, what exactly is Hernandez good at? Like, he's not really a great wrestler. He's a good athlete.
He's an all right wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's a decent mid-tier lightweight, but I wouldn't take him over Drew Dober or anything like that. Like he's got some okay things. Just a lot of times the issue is his skill set just doesn't really have depth to it. So like either his athleting stuff on, or he just kind of runs out of I guess ideas.
Yeah. Are you done with your your?
No, we're still going. CDF.
For sure. It's because I was going to pivot off Hernandez, but I'll get to it. So, yes, CDF, for sure. Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah, my system is just looking for the UFC rankings and picking random people who I like on the bottom end of the rankings.
Let's go. Yeah. I think
that works pretty well.
I didn't even go in the rankings though. Like I'm coming out hot with mine.
Li Jingnan, China Power. I just like the way he's got his games put together. He's another guy I probably won't ever make the top, but he's a fun brawler. What else?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it as far as I can say. As far as people I immediately care about. How about you?
Yeah. I have two people and they're not ranked and they haven't fought like anyone great. So I'm gonna go with them. But this guy at lightweight who I would max over Hernandez, Damir Ismagulov. I'm always kind of skeptical on newcomers, but Thiago Moises isn't bad, and he fucking dominated him. And he has a top game. He's got striking defense. He's got output. He's got cardio. And like, I need to see more to know like how awesome he is. But I tend to think like what I saw from Moises, he's gonna beat some good guys,
Yeah. I thought it was a heavyweight for some reason. Not sure why.
I think he's
lightweight.
Yeah.
He's lightweight.
I mean, you would take him over Hernandez, right? I think he's way better.
I'd take most of the. I'd take Brian Ortega over Alexander Hernandez. That is the level of press team for Alexander Hernandez.
Oh, God.
I'd take probably about half of the current podcast listeners over Alexander Hernandez.
Oh God. I don't think Hernandez is awful. I just don't think he's the future.
I think he is a sport killer. Fuck him.
Yeah, Damir. I like Damir. Just I feel like it's almost like the Stamen thing. Like he's just very solid everywhere. So you're gonna have to be very good in a certain area to beat him, or like more well-rounded. Can
I just speculate briefly on your miracle next pick? Is it either going to be Cyril Gane, or is it going to be Ankalaev?
No, but I tried to go for like I was a little more. I was less lazy than you. I didn't just roll through the rankings. I was kind of going for people who don't have a ton of UFC fights, just like maybe a few, But
sure.
I mean, those two guys I like a lot. But my next one, this might get some heat because we haven't seen a lot of them, but I fucking love output when I see it. Kyle Woodson, and you don't like him.
I don't dislike him. I know you guys try hand jobs in the showers after training most weekends.
Kyle Woodson. I'm sorry, Sean Woodson. He fought Kyle Bosniak, so I fucking mixed up their names.
Yeah, I think the weird loopy. He has clear offense.
Dude, this is why I like him. And I almost didn't even want to say him because I feel like he's going to be an underdog versus someone he's going to annihilate. But he...
I do kind of like him. I've seen him against Bosniak. He looked okay. It's just I'm just not sure he's athletic. He doesn't really have the athletic plus athlete. I don't think he ever gets like ranked or solidly ranked. I think there's a decent chance he gets. I think he could definitely pick up some UFC wins.
Dude, he's 6'2", and he seems to have serviceable takedown defense, and he attempted 290 total strikes against Kyle Bosniak and landed 150. Like, I do not give a fuck if someone's athletic or not. Like, I care about, I'm sometimes a slave to the stats, but he pretty much did. He outperformed what Dawadu did versus Bosniak, And I'm not saying, I'm not going MMA math, but I'm just saying like he showed elite levels of output. He's 6'2" at 145, and he seems relatively hard to take down, So
yeah,
and he looks like he has cardio for days too. So I feel like he's.
I thought you were about to say it looks like I thought you'd get focused more on the fact he looks like he's 47 and he has my offense. But can't give it that, he's sure.
He's a St. Louis boy,
I could see it working.
Yeah.
I could see it working. I'm just kind of... He won because boxing except beyond.
So, hey, you're cutting out.
But I was big on the part.
Yo, Gugabe.
Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, you cut out for a second. You were saying something about Bosniak?
Success in that fight was due to the way Bosniak doesn't really have a plan B. He just kind of moves forward onto people and hopes that he wins rounds that way.
And I don't... Bosniak has been stuck against some really tough competition, but I also don't think he's great either. You know, he just has trouble landing strikes, and he can't really ground people and keep them down.
Yeah, he's like in that Barbarena territory where he'll rock up and have it closer again, and like make people work regardless of how good they are. But he's not necessarily going to be winning. He's not going to win any fights. He's just going to be in a lot of close losses.
Yeah, my prediction, Sean Woodson. I'm going to say it now. Within the next year or two, just depending on how many fights he gets, you know, I think he'll be a ranked featherweight for sure.
You know, whereas Sean Woodson has a reach greater than Kevin Lee. He's got 79-inch reach.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm fucking saying, man. Like when you have
that's ridiculous.
And like, even though he's not very athletic, his defense is legit on the feet. Like, I mean, he moves his head well. He pivots off. He can like shoulder roll. He has like other things other than his boxing too, like step in knees. I feel like he's hard to kind of take and hold down. And dude, if you're 6'2" with a 79-inch reach, I don't give a fuck if you're not. I think that's as advantageous as being athletic, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's some people who can't beat him. You know, I'm just saying he's gonna upset some people. That's what I'm saying.
I can expect that. The more I think about it, like I didn't realize his reach was that ridiculous.
It's insane. And I was thinking about playing him for Bosniak, but he really only just had like a regional fight and a contender series fight, so I didn't know enough. But it was more of a fade of Bosniak and a hunch of Woodson's output on the regional scene, and just because he's like tall as fuck. But I didn't even want to bring him up on this podcast, but he's going to be one that I'm on for sure. Like when you attempt almost 300 strikes in a 3-rounder and are reasonably hard to hit and are tall, I'm going to be interested in playing you. Like, output's king, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
I knew you weren't going to like that too.
The more I think about it, I can kind of see the logic.
Yeah.
I think also Woodson was in Woodson's favor as far as the odds are concerned, is how weird he looks as a human being.
Well, yeah.
Like, honestly, I think people would just like pick up a picture of him and be like, nah.
I mean, if you look, Bosniak is way more athletic probably than Woodson, but it didn't fucking matter, you know? But I don't know if you've ever seen the movie like Moneyball, whenever like the old school scouts will be like, I mean, he's got a great swing. And then Billy Bean, who was played by Brad Pitt, was like, well, if he can hit well, why doesn't he hit well, type of thing, you know? It's like, I want to actually see the output. And I think there was a pitcher in that movie who throws funny, but he was actually, so no one wanted him. And so he got the minimum league salary and was one of the most valuable players in the league for like what he was paid. So I think he's kind of falls in that category of Woodson, where like he might not look like your stereotypical champion or like the fighter you would want to model after, but he gets results, you know?
You think that Woodson will get on base a lot?
Yeah, on base percentage, man. That's what.
Actually, I can see the logic. Like, he's volume at least like it's baseline. It's a nice baseline stat.
It's like it's an on base percentage stat, you know.
I just remember Woodson's TNC fight not impressing me hugely.
Well, that's because he was going against Terrence McKinney, who's a legit wrestler, and he just held him for like a round down. But
then randomly died.
And then he got knocked out in round 2. But what I saw on that also is like Woodson was making him, even though he was being held down, he was like consistently working up. And McKinney was using a ton of energy holding his base down. It wasn't like he was just laying flat on his back. Woodson, like he was working up. He'd use like a post stand and try to get up. And McKinney would have to keep like kind of putting forward pressure and like hit pressure down. So what I was seeing on that was Woodson at least will like resist you. I think in a 5-rounder, Woodson too, because his cardio looks legit. He used to weigh like 200 pounds, by the way, or like 250 pounds or something. Didn't he fight at heavyweight back in the day?
Yeah, quite possibly. It's Sean Woodson.
He has an amateur boxing record. I'm pretty sure he boxed. I could be way wrong. So
yeah, there's a catch weight of 180 on his. Even Tapology, he's a fighting middleweight 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think he was at heavyweight at some point. So yeah, I think he.
Christ.
Yeah, he was like he's a St. Louis boy, so I like him. My hometown. So but I don't just like him because of that. Like I think 6'2" at 145 is insane.
Till the cut becomes too much. Like that weight cut's got to be brutal.
Yeah,
surely.
Yeah.
Anyway, you found a new what's his name? Give me a second. I'll just pull up the historical George Rope the second.
Oh, wasn't he like really tall or something?
Yeah, George Rope was 6'1" at bantamweight.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
But had a way shorter arms, so. Rope was just one of those guys, very noodly, so it was always had to knock out because he just sort of folded them himself.
Didn't he knock out Korean Zombie like back in like 2000, like a long time ago?
Yeah, it was a crazy head kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Korean Zombie's not that good, so people get that.
I don't think he's bad. I don't think
he's bad. I feel like he's an upper mid tier featherweight brawler, and he's kind of had a few good sub-minute knockouts.
Yeah,
I don't think he's awful, but like, yeah, I feel like there are people who think who now legitimately consider him to be a top 3 featherweight, where I don't think he really is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think he got fortunate to catch everyone. Edgar just tends to be done. And Moicano was just kind of like, all right, it's a very quick knockout loss.
Yeah. He's definitely benefiting from like quick finishes, you know?
Yeah.
So like his line, I mean, we see it like quick finishes just make your lines go crazy, even though like I'm more interested of like I think what Sean Woodson did against like Bochniak, winning 3 clear dominant rounds, is that should make his line.
Yeah.
He should become less affordable going forward than like, you know what I mean? Just because.
Yeah, random first round knockout.
Yeah. Yeah. But all right.
Also, it's like,
oh, what's up?
We can talk if we get like Korean Zombie at like. I mean, if Volkanovski's like minus 140 against Korean Zombie, I'd be very interested in hitting that hard.
Yeah, for sure. And at least Volkanovski, like, is going to come in fighting extremely smart.
Exactly. Like and also I just do not think that.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't think Korean Zombie checks leg kicks, and I think Volkanovski will party upon that.
Yeah. But I think that's pretty much everything. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about, but I don't know, we just kind of bantered and yelled at each other this whole podcast, so it was fun.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, always good to have a chat.
Yeah. I guess going forward, we have the McGregor Cerrone card, so we have like some weeks. I don't know if like there's anyone in the comments who want us to do another like random podcast where we talk about random shit and just end up talking about Aspen Ladd. We can definitely do that.
We got the Bellator tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we'll borrow from Rampage conceptually.
Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to play him, but I like the play, you know. Because I just feel like the line's minus 600 or something to not go the distance, and I feel like when you're predicting a knockout, you just have to look at durability at this point, and Rampage seems way more durable, you know?
Yeah, like the way I kind of thought it, I was talking to someone there. I just said that I think Fedor needs to land a nuke, and I think that Rampage needs to land a jab.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way to put it. Like
Even like Rampage, no scorecards at -115.
dude, oh my god, you know, I kind of like thought this, but I didn't realize like how long it's been. You know, Rampage hasn't been knocked out since soccer kicks to Shogun in 2005.
Yeah, or even being subbed. He hasn't been subbed since John Jones. He hasn't been finished since like John Jones, has he?
Yeah, that was his last finish, and then before that, his last time he was finished was to Shogun in 2005. Like Fedor gets knocked out like every weekend.
And I can't really picture ever seeing Rampage badly hurt in that spree too.
No, never. Like
I'm not a massive Rampage historian, but yeah, like usually just kind of his pay. He just doesn't put enough pace on. He makes stupid faces whilst losing decisions.
But Fedor doesn't do that. Fedor's like gonna come at you and throw haymakers, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Fedor usually forces a firefight. Like if someone played Rampage, where I just feel like they're both gonna swing.
Yeah.
And take the more durable guy, right?
Yeah, I just feel Rampage, like he hasn't fought I think he fought last year. Yeah, he didn't look great against Wanderlei, but like I could easily say this being the exact same dynamic as the Wanderlei fight.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a sloppy fucking fight, though, so it's not totally up my alley, but I conceptually think Rampage. And isn't he an underdog?
Yes, he is still.
You can get him plus 120 on Pinnacle.
I think conceptually there's a good chance that Rampage should be like -300. Like, there are definitely risks here. But like Rampage could just make faces and lose to a Fedor who just hustles a bit more.
Yeah.
And also like this year, not to purely wiki cap, but like Fabio Maldonado losing to Fedor was one of the greatest robberies of the last like it's one of the worst robberies ever.
Dude,
and
not Fedor inside the distance is -150.
Yeah. Well, even Rampage no scorecards.
Oh my god. It's like
Rampage no scorecards probably would be my play.
Yeah, like both of them. I mean, I just don't think.
I think again, like Fedor will try to finish. So it's not like it's not like Fedor was going to be content to just like kind of out hustle Rampage. I'm pretty sure Fedor will be trying to crash onto him the entire time.
He's like the most seek and destroy fighter there is. Like, and he's always like that. And whenever your durability's gone, that's not good. And I feel like if you kind of force a firefight versus Rampage, like Rampage can still hit, you know?
Yeah. Like I just and people are like Fedor's get taken down and sub him. I'm like, Rampage hasn't been subbed since John Jones, and before that was Sakuraba. Like, but Glover got on top of Rampage and couldn't get a sub.
Yeah, and Rampage has functional wrestling, you know, like like he can kind of he can like kick off, stand back up, or just like defend a double leg, you know.
And Fedor kind of needs like trying to put this he's a very clinch wrestler. He kind of has to punch into the clinch.
Yeah.
It's not like Fedor's going to be hitting long range shot takedowns.
Yeah, he's not going to be shooting like a double leg from 15 feet away. You know?
Yeah. But I think which makes him more vulnerable. But like, it's hard to trust Rampage at this point in time. But like, it seems like the logical side.
Yeah.
At a certain point in my brain just kind of going, I feel like I shouldn't bet this, but I also don't trust them because I just feel like as a value proposition.
Yeah, it's like one of those I probably won't play, but I agree with the pick. You know, if you're kind of more of a volume picker for sure, which you are more than me. So
I just feel like my gut feeling for this is Rampage takes it like a massive clip.
Yeah.
And like I like Fedor. Fedor's my favorite fighter of all time. It's not like I'm just hating on Fedor. I just like one man can't take a stiff punch. The other guy is still capable of taking punches.
Yeah,
and they'll just kind of swing into the middle and swang. It's just I'll probably end up with like two and a half, 3 units on Rampage. It's hard betting on Rampage at this point in time, but it just doesn't. The price just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, especially like I mean, he's a dog too. You know.
Yeah.
You can get plus 120 on certain sides. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna roll, but yeah, good podcast, and we'll maybe do one before the McGregor card. We'll definitely do one for that card too. So cool, man.
We gather to celebrate Rampage's win in the best bet of the year. That's kind of thing of Rampage. I feel like Rampage could quite easily be like a hindsight minus 1,000 here.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I feel like I should be just slamming it because I feel like there's a good chance Rampage in hindsight is just like ridiculously favored.
Yeah.
But anyway, such is life.
Yeah. Well, cool. I'll see you next time, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah, catch you around. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye.